Say my glitch. Say my glitch.
God.
Trash Blood Horrorcast is a mixture of horror movies, spooky stuff, and goofy dipshit comedy. Funny laugh laugh. You've been warned.
Hey, this is Zac.
And this is BJ.
Welcome to the Trash Blood Horrorcast.
Demons to some, angels to others.
Keep away! The power's mine!
You shouldn't have buried me. I'm not dead.
Whoa, blurry.
Looks very fancy when you do it. Some
Look
next
how
level video stuff.
Nothing says fancy like shit getting blurry. Every time I
As
get
we
drunk,
always
it's like,
say.
man, everything's fancy as hell. I'm wasted.
Yeah, I always think I'm a rich person from like the 18th century when I'm drunk. So,
When you're gunk,
grunk. That's what I call being drunk. It's what we said in the 18th century.
you know, when I'm
Oh,
gunk.
Do you ever do that, though? Like, is that just a
What?
me thing? I don't know. When I get like tipsy, I like start talking in accents and talking fancier and pretending I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably just you.
Probably just me, yeah. No one else in the entire world does that. It's just me.
Yeah, it's only you. No, actually, by the way, everybody, welcome to Trash Blood Horrorcast. I'm Zac.
I'm Maddie.
That's her. That's Maddie. But no, there was this guy that I was in a band with, Ponka Pete. You saw us play one time.
Yeah, I still have the sticker somewhere, or maybe it's on
Do
a
you?
computer. Yeah, I think so.
Man, we were not a very good band. I'm not gonna lie. We were like a band of drunks, and like each show we played, like I think we only played 4 shows, and like one of us would usually fuck up.
Oh man.
Like I think we had one show that was really solid. The last show, I fucked up the drums on a song or two. But anyways, we weren't a very good band. But the guitarist of that band, and no, he didn't do vocals, just guitar. He would go into a Scottish or Irish accent. I don't know which one
Really?
he was doing. And no, I think it was Irish. And he would go into a character he calls Boyd. And
He has a name for it.
yeah. And like, sorry if you're listening to this, dude. I'm like not talking shit, even though I just said our band sucked. But you got to admit, we kind of did. But yeah, he would get drunk and like bust out into this Boyd character. And like, it was funny, but like, he did it like way too often. When
Like
it should have
every
just
time?
been- yeah, there was this bar called the Frisco, which fuck the Frisco. They like banned me for nothing, basically. Like there was this guy outside the Frisco being a dickhead to his dog before he came in. I was like, hey,
Yeah.
man, don't be mean to your dog. And then like he got in a fight with another dude, and for some reason they like banned me from this bar. And all I did was tell this dude not to be mean to his dog. And like these were people I knew too. I used to go in there a lot.
That's ridiculous.
But yeah, that's where Boyd hangs out a lot. You get to hear a fake loud Irish guy.
Go down
Anyways.
to the Frisco and see if you can catch Boyd.
Yeah. Anyways, hey Mark, if you're watching or listening, I know you're not, but hey.
Man, from what I remember, like I was pretty young when you were in Ponka Pete, but the one show I went to with Mom, was it at the Rails?
I think so. That
I
might
think-
have been the show that was actually good.
Yeah, it was pretty good for like I was excited and I thought it was awesome, but I haven't seen that much like live performance before. And like you were my brother and you were drumming, and I was like, this is fucking
Yeah.
sick. Like I like this.
It was fun. Like I know you might have been at the first show we played, and like I know people after we were done playing, they're like, "Wait, you're already done?" I was like, "Yeah, we only got like 6 or 7 songs. Sorry,
Right.
we could." But like, man, like that was one of the last times I saw Dad. Like me and Maddie don't really talk to Dad anymore. I don't know the last time he talked to him, but I haven't talked to him in years.
Oh man, it's probably been at least 3 years now, I want to say.
Yeah, but this was like fucking what 2010 or 11 when I was playing there, and like he came for some reason. I don't know if I told him or somebody told him. Or
I
something, but he
probably
was, like,
did.
At the end of the show, he was like crying and stuff. I was like, "Oh, my son's a rock and roller." Or some
Oh my
bullshit.
God.
Okay, cool, weird. Like, by the way, I still don't like you.
Oh my
Welcome
God.
to Trash Blood Dad Hate Cast.
Yeah, we could make a whole nother podcast just talking about all that bullshit, honestly.
Oh yeah.
It's endless.
Well, anyways, guys, we're back with our first episode without BJ. Maybe he'll be back sometime. Maybe he won't. He's kind of doing his own thing, trying to, work on stuff that he needs to work on. But we're going to keep going. So I haven't really talked to you about it, but my idea for the scripts that we're doing, the Trash Blood's original sequels, I think this is going to be Trash Blood Universe 2.
Okay, cool.
Since we ended the last episode on that one script, I think that wraps up. I mean, we can always go back to it and bring characters because I kind of want to bring Gerald Ann back in.
Oh yeah, I love Gerald Ann. That was
I was
nice.
thinking about maybe what's eating Gerald Ann instead of Gilbert Grape.
I freaking love that idea.
But I kind of want to make our new scripts that we're doing without BJ starting from here on, like it's still the Trash Blood universe, but it's alternate reality. It's like Trash Blood Universe 2. So we're not really I don't want to have a lot of the same characters unless the one I was just talking about, if we want to go back and write something that about Gerald Ann or a character we miss or something like that. But I kind of want to make it just a whole different thing. Like I said, the second universe, we'll have our own reoccurring characters and all that shit too.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's a really good idea, and I can already have a lot of ideas. I'm really excited to write the script that you sent me. I haven't started it yet, but I have a lot of ideas swirling around.
Awesome. And the script we're going to do today is one I wrote. It's called Cabin in the Hood instead of Cabin in the Woods. That's a rap horn. But I'm looking forward to this one. It starts out pretty dark. The whole thing's not dark, but it's definitely got some darkness to it. Dark comedy. I mean, of course, it's going to be goofy and stupid as shit because that's what I do. I mean, honestly, one of my favorite things to do is write our scripts. It's kind of like a Zen thing. Fucking smoke some weed and just write scripts. It's a lot of fun.
Well, for sure. It kind of feels like anything goes. We're not really limited in any way when writing them. If we want to put some fucked up shit in there, some goofy dialogue, it fits in perfectly. That's its purpose. It's its function.
Imagine seeing the shit we write for characters in our show what if this was going on in their actual movies? You got Carol Ann grown up into a 50-year-old fat lady. She's just shitting all over the place and trying to fuck everybody. And
then, puberty, it does it to us all.
Oh yeah. But imagine seeing all these fucking characters who made when it comes down to it, it's not even really horror what we write. I mean, it's horror based, but it's more that's really gross and goofy. But I'm okay with that. I have fun doing that. I want to make shit weird and funny.
I mean, there's a whole niche of new subgenre horror movies coming out that's really focused on that comedy factor more than just your average horror comedy film.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely different than what we do, but I feel like that would be the closest thing to define it if we had to,
I know. I think we talked about it a little bit on one episode, but one movie that we have to do sometime that totally reminded me of a Trash Blood script was a movie called Butt Boy. Do you remember talking about that?
Butt Boy, I think so. Oh my god!
I don't want to give anything away. Here soon, let's talk about the movie Butt Boy. You people have to watch it. I think it's on Prime. I mean, Google will tell you where the fuck it's at. But it's it's called Butt Boy, and dude, it's the dumbest humor, but it's also brilliantly made. It's really good. So let's just save that for another episode. But watch Butt Boy. It's it's probably the closest I've seen to a Trash Blood original script, or possibly the Greasy Strangler. That was a good one too. But we're going to focus on doing we're going to focus on a topic each episode to bring in, or a game or something like that. We're going to have 3 blocks basically. We're going to do talk about something paranormal or true crime or whatever the fuck we want to do. Like I said, play a game. Then we're going to focus on one horror movie, and then we're going to do the script, because I kind of want to focus on making the episodes a little shorter and tighter and stuff, just because like I told you earlier, the last episode is it's 2.5 hours long. It was fun and funny and worth it, but I think people's attention span and whatnot, we might need to just make it a little bit shorter. But
for sure. I mean, we know you guys love to hear us ramble about cocksuckers for the rest of your day, but we know you also have a life to get on to, so.
trash blood, more like life's blood. That's what people
There you
think of
go.
us. Yeah. And this week, guys, we're still not mummy demons with scorpion knives or whatever.
Dude,
so
you
don't
fucking
be
fell
stupid.
for it again.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Right when we turned it on, people were like, "Mummy scorpion demons."
God, every time.
So why don't we get into our first thing, our first block of the 3-block Trash Blood show? Maddie, you're bringing in the subject that we're going to do today. What do you want to talk about?
So I thought we could talk about some true horror. So things like the Amityville or the different like Bigfoot sightings, things like that. Especially talking about the fake ones that people tried to make you believe is real. And the reason I started thinking about this is because really recently, I think it was 3 days ago maybe, the guy that inspired the Amityville horror books and movies died in prison.
Like the guy that did the killing, or
the guys that
Okay.
did the killing
that actually killed? Okay.
and then used the kind of hype around the house to make it seem like it was, well, okay. The Amityville horror is a really tough one to talk about. There's a lot of people on both sides of the fence like, no, this is real. No, this guy did it all. It's still not really known. I know a lot of ghost investigators have went there, and a lot of them obviously haven't found anything. And even if they did find something, how do we trust them? But
Yeah, it's one of those places like where I hear that like, it's supposed to be so haunted, but like there hasn't been reports of anything like since the Amityville like situation or the
exactly.
the story
And it makes
we
you
all
think,
know.
like, did that really have an influence over this guy murdering his whole family? I mean, when it comes down to it, it really doesn't matter. He went to prison and he's dead now. But it had a real big
Well,
impact
that
on
guy, the guy that murdered, he was before the haunting at all. He was like, he killed his whole family. I think he was like fucked up in the head or something and hearing voices, which maybe like he was trying to pass it on as paranormal.
Wasn't he like schizophrenic
I
or
think
something like that?
Maybe, I can't remember for sure. I think there was something going on though. But it's the family that moved in to that house, I think afterwards, or at some point, that like all this haunted shit was going on. And Ed and Lorraine, from The Conjuring, and Warrens, they were involved in this whole thing. And they get like a lot of people are skeptics about them, which I can see why. Like, I don't know, like the older I get, the less I believe in, I don't want to say ghosts, but what ghosts are supposed to be. I think there's something there. Like I've said it a million times on the show, I think there's something there, but it's something scientifically explainable.
That we
Like,
just don't have the right words for yet.
Yeah, right. Or the proof or the evidence of what it really is, though, like being like an apparition or anything. It could just, there's an explanation for it. And I kind of got in my head that I refuse to believe that it's like based on any form of magic or curse or anything like that. Like, but like, situations like the Amityville horror, maybe something like that could happen because the way of energy, it's never dies. So when there's that much energy, like in one situation, like maybe it does like a timestamp. That's one thing I've always believed in. It's like maybe there's certain things that were so tense and so high energy that it just left that energy mark and resonates in the air. And maybe that's why certain like ghost experiences, like they say on Sunday nights at 10 o'clock, this girl walks down the stairs or some shit like that, Maybe it was because it's that time imprint and like it's just kind of stuck there, Like even
and that makes a lot of sense with energy too, especially in those places where a lot of bad stuff happened. Like that guy killed, wasn't it 5 people in his family?
Yeah, it was his wife and kids.
His wife and 4 kids, I think.
Yeah, something like that. It was he I think he shotgunned him. He shotgunned him.
Shotgunned him. Not shotgunning a beer, very different.
And the whole weird thing about that though is when he did that, like they were all still in bed. Like he was going around the house shooting people and like nobody like got up to him.
I know. That's always made me uneasy thinking about it, especially since I think it was 2 of the girls, they slept in the same bed. Like I don't know. That's always been one of my fears is like home invasion or not like being in my bed when shit's going down and not being able to get up and defend myself. That shit freaks me out.
Well, it makes me think that he gave him some sort of sedative because, I mean, one shotgun blast to one person, that's waking up the rest of the house. And like,
Oh,
so I
yeah.
wonder if like he did some sort of sedition or like he, fuck, I mean, I don't think like he moved him or anything, but like,
No,
I don't
because all
know.
of the like blood work matched that they were
Mhm.
shot in bed. Like that was very
Mhm.
evident. But then again,
Yeah.
this was back in the 70s, so I mean, there wasn't really a whole lot going on crime-wise. We
Well,
weren't
I
really
think that
doing a bunch of
was
stuff
the
yet,
murder in the 70s.
wasn't
Wasn't the
it?
murder? I thought it was earlier, but maybe I'm wrong because like I know the
Maybe it was
Amityville movie.
this. Well, I'll look it up real fast for all of us so we
Yeah,
have
yeah,
good
you got that.
context.
Yeah, I forget you got that fancy little computer in
Oh
front of you.
yeah,
Is it
I'm a
blurry?
college girl.
Is that
Nah,
computer blurry? It's so
I'm
fancy.
not that fancy. You're the fancy one here.
Everything's blurry right now because of fonts.
But I mean, it makes me thinking if that happened like way back then, I mean, we wouldn't really have the science behind it to find if they had sedatives or something in their blood.
Yeah, yeah, even in the 70s as well. I mean, like, I mean, I know they could do a lot of shit then, but like,
It
not like
was
they can now.
November 13th, 1974.
74, okay.
Yeah, so it was the 70s.
So that happened. Then the family moved into the house. The haunting happened, and then like that was a quick turnaround because they
Oh
did
yeah.
that. All this shit happened. Then they wrote the book, and then I don't know, man. Like, but yeah, it's like one of those things where there's mixed like feelings on it. Like a lot of people think it's bullshit, a lot of people don't. And like with the Warrens, I think that I mean maybe there was some shit going on, like saying like shit you can't explain, and they like perceive it in one way. But like I got a feeling, like in my opinion, I bet they exploited quite a bit. It just seems like with
For
all the
sure.
cases they've done, and like all the like I'm not even gonna say evidence because they don't have a bunch of evidence, but like the stories they have, it's not just haunting, it's like full possession, people levitating and shit going crazy. It's like
Right.
I don't find that believable. Like we're like, I mean, we're lucky as hell to like ever see a ghost or what we'd call a ghost in the first place.
And these
Like I mean,
people just happen to see it all the fucking time to
yeah, and like
extreme levels.
right. I think there's like, but you know, the place that The Conjuring 2 was based on,
In
they
London?
went, yeah, they went there, and like there was a lot of people there that saw this shit go down. They were convinced that it was ghosts, you know, or something like that. But then there's a lot of people that also think it was just the little girl that was setting up traps and stuff like that, or not traps. What am I, you know, setting it
Yeah.
up to look like the house is haunted. But that's
Yeah.
a lot from a little girl, and
I
like I
mean,
don't know,
it's
it's hard to
possible,
say.
but it's
Yeah.
just, yeah, it is really hard to say, especially when you're not there yourself. I don't
Mhm.
know, because I mean, I feel like if I was there and I was seeing that shit, my first thought would be like, oh shit, this is haunted. Like
Mhm.
the things that they saw, if you're not expecting it, you don't know what's going on inside that house. I mean, I think it's
Yeah.
very possible for someone to pull off that level of
Mhm.
performance, you know?
Yeah, and her voice, like there's recordings of her voice, and it's like it's pretty crazy how it changes. But one thing that kind of keeps me on the fence there as well is like there's a part, they show it in The Conjuring 2, and it's part of what really happened. Like they made her take a drink of water and hold it in her mouth so the voice would still happen. And it did, but she said that she wouldn't do it unless everybody turned around. So nobody was
Right.
looking at her when this happened. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
That's
that's pretty
pretty
sus.
I don't know, like I said, I think maybe there is some shit that happened, but like think about like if you're in a house and like a couple of like small incidents happen and then you get your brain going and then you kind of connect everything to the paranormal. Like, oh my God,
Right.
what's that? Like when I move into a new house, usually, like the first week, I'm like, what's going on? You know, because it's like a new place and like it almost feels creepy for a little bit.
Oh
And you
yeah,
start
you
thinking
gotta
like,
get
oh, what
comfortable.
was that noise over there? Is that something? Or you know?
And then you
So I'm
find
like,
out it's just you have a creaky floorboard. Like,
but I think like a lot of like ghosts and like stuff in that situation is a mixture of like something we don't know about yet, something we haven't figured out, and also like kind of like a hysteria or like a psychosis when you get in a state of mind and like I don't know, when you think a house is haunted and like everybody else there thinks it is too, maybe you hear like a tree branch hit the ceiling and like maybe right before that you said, hey, communicate with us, and they're like, oh well, that's a ghost right there. It's like maybe the tree branch just fucking fell. But like
yeah.
I don't know, like I mean we're like stuff that like people do to make it seem like it's actually going on, but they're kind of just tricking people. Like I think most possessions are bullshit. I don't think
Mhm.
it's always necessarily someone trying to trick somebody. I think it's totally mental illness, like
Oh yeah,
schizophrenia, stuff like that.
100%.
I mean, it's obvious that it is. I mean, like there's no physical evidence of someone actually levitating and stuff like that. They have like pictures of like the Conjuring 2 chick, and it looks like she's just jumping in the air. But there's
Yeah.
no video evidence of anything like that. And like to me, possession is obviously mental illness, in my opinion. But I mean, people have like so-called or have said they've witnessed, shit like levitation and whatnot.
Mhm.
But I don't know, man. Fucking science. It's weird. Science
Yeah.
is weird, man.
I mean, there's all kinds of crazy things that science does that doesn't even follow its own rules. Like we have like the waterfall. I don't remember where it is, but it flows backwards and it flows straight into the air because of like wind gusts. And it took us forever to figure out why it was doing that. We thought that was weird at first. There's just so many things that were unexplainable until we got the scientific like procedures behind it and the right names to call it, and we figured it out. And I feel like that's probably what we're going to do with the supernatural stuff eventually.
Yeah,
We're going to be able to get the actual understanding behind it to be able to tell people like, hey, your ghost isn't doing this. Like, I don't know what it is now, but maybe in the future we'll be able to actually understand it. And I really hope I'm alive to see it, because that would be so cool.
Yeah, I mean, there is like stuff that they are debunking, but like I don't think it's like put out there to be like well known, because honestly, like ghost shows and stuff like that are making a lot of money, and the mystery is fun. Like the reason I'm into ghost stuff and I like to watch stuff like that is basically like the same reason I am for horror. Like I think it's fun. Like I like to watch the fake shit on YouTube while I'm folding laundry, like all the shit that I even know that's fake, but it's like almost like a small horror movie that someone put together.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, there's shit I've had happen to me that I totally can't explain. But like, I don't think it's a wizard's curse or anything. But like,
yeah,
our mom was on an episode with early episode with me and BJ, and we talked about the incident where me and her heard. Well, Dad heard it too, but he was saying the squirrels on the roof. But it was obviously on the floor. It was like the sound of flip flops walking back and forth down our hallway. Like it was so weird. I can still picture it to this day. And like me and Mom yelling back and forth at each other, like, "You hear that, right?" Like, yeah, it sounds like flip flops. And it was literally going down the hallway from my door to their door, like back and forth, back and forth. And then she said at some point she was in there. There's a one bathroom that was by my bedroom and one bathroom by their bedroom. She was doing her hair or something like that in the bathroom that was close to mine, and she saw someone walk by out of the corner of her eye, and she looked down. And she saw a guy with flip-flops on with a tank top and shorts and stuff. And like, so that right there, I mean, that flip-flop thing was so weird though. It was like, I wasn't even really scared. I was more like interested and confused and like in shock. Like, I don't know, I guess flip-flops aren't scary, but like,
I mean, it's
like
the thought behind it. Like, I'm in my house, we are alone. I know who's in the house. I'm hearing this noise. I don't know what it is, but I know what the noise is. Like that just triggers some kind of like primal thing in humans. It's that like fight or flight. What is it? Fight or flight instinct, you know? Yeah.
Mine was just sit there. But but yeah, like I mean, we had other shit happen there as well. But like, I don't know, that flip flop thing walking back and forth, that makes me think of like a time imprint thing. It's like something like, I don't know why it would be stuck there, but like maybe it's almost like watching a recording, like looping. Like this person's like walking back and down, like back and forth in the hallway. And like, I don't know. I don't think it's like an intellectual spirit or anything like that. But I don't know. We don't know shit. But like, there has been a lot of shit debunked about, like gas leaks, houses settling that makes your cabinets open and stuff like that. Even
the
certain
gas
things.
Leaks one, that one scares me. Like
Yeah,
that's
right.
a terrifying thought.
Yeah, you're slowly getting poisoned, but you think you're seeing ghosts and shit.
Yeah, that'd be a really good horror movie right there. Like a comedy horror movie.
And like, I watched a video recently. I forgot what all they were saying about whether certain things, like when you see stuff out of your periphery, out the corner of your eye, that like it's explainable. It's something just with your retina or your eye or something ocular. And it's not you're seeing ghosts. It's just, I mean, your eye is a fucking globe of vision. That's what I'm gonna call it. Your eye is just a globe of vision.
And I mean,
Right,
everything we see is a perspective. Like if we saw the way our eyes actually saw it, we wouldn't be seeing things the same way because it processes it in our brain to give us a singular image. Like we
Right,
don't,
right.
we see pretty much not 360, but you know what I mean.
Mhm.
And I mean, we don't even see colors the same way that other people see colors. The way I view the world is totally different from like you or anyone else.
Yeah, yeah. And like sometimes like if someone sees a ghost, that might have just been something in their head completely like chemically or that happened. Like
Yeah.
and the other
But
person
if
doesn't
two
see
people
it.
saw it, it's a ghost.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Me and Cooper saw that ghost at one time. That was fucked up. But there's other things that like they were saying like when you see something like dead on, what you think it might be a ghost, there's like a certain like vibration that can happen in your eyes and stuff and can trigger like a hallucination like that. So
It's crazy.
that definitely makes more sense to me. Like as much as I hate to say it, like I think when we're dead, we're dead. I think it's that's it. And honestly, that scares the shit out of me more than like thinking about like dying at all or going to hell. Like just for some reason it scares the shit out of me that I know that we're like living our whole lives and doing all this shit just to get by, and then all of a sudden, bam, it's done, toast, blanked. And I don't know why
nothing
that's
ever
scary
matters
to me.
anymore.
I don't know why that's scary to me. It's just weird how it can go from like I'm alive and doing something to absolutely nothing. And if that's how it is, then like your brain's not even gonna know. I mean, it doesn't even matter. But like that scares the
I mean,
shit
it
out of me.
depends. There's some ways that you can die, and the brain functions for quite a while after death, actually. So I'm really interested
I
to
mean, like
see, like,
afterlife wise though.
well, yeah, but like,
Be-
I really like when I die.
Mhm.
I'm not looking forward to it in any way. Let me clarify that.
Yeah.
But I'm really interested to find out whether I'm going to be able to process what's happening, if my brain's
Mhm.
still going to be functioning and like producing neurons and stuff at that point, and what's that going to feel like, and what,
Mhm.
like, I don't know. It kind of trips me out thinking about it.
Mhm.
Like when people are beheaded and their brain functions for a little while and they can like blink,
Mhm.
and sometimes like you can get them
Yeah,
to like
yeah.
say words. Like that
Yeah,
shit
that's
scares the
crazy.
fuck out of
That is
me.
so crazy. But like a lot of the time that people come back to life, they see something, a bright light or whatever it is they see or as they perceive as the afterlife. And when it comes down to it, like it's been proven that's not what it is. What it is the chemicals in your brain releasing to help you feel comfort when you're dying or
Right.
you're about to die. It's that DMT or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
And like it's trying to make you ease into it. Like that's pretty nice of your brain to do. Like you're about to die
I
and
know.
have an ultimate trip.
My brain is such an asshole to me every day of my life, but at the end, I know it's gonna have my back.
Yeah, it's gonna be tripping balls. Well, yeah. Is there anything else you want to touch on this topic? That was fun to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, not really. I'd be really interested to hear your guys' opinions of this, or if you guys think the same way that we do.
Mhm.
I don't know. I just feel like the explanations can be endless, and it's very fun to try to sift
Mhm.
through like truth and like reality versus fiction. And
Mhm.
sometimes the line is really hard to draw, but I don't. Oh God. You hear my dogs?
Yeah. No, they're
That's
fine.
just for you, Trashbloodians. They know I'm talking to you and they really want to meet you, but
Yeah, they do. They wanted that fucking door. Yeah, one episode I do like. I've thought about this from the very first, and I still haven't done it. I want to bring in like, hell, maybe we'll do it next episode, like the great fakes, like stuff that like turned out to be fake, but like looked pretty real or had a lot of people believing.
Right.
Like that Bigfoot in Georgia. I think it was Georgia that was found. I remember they had a picture of it in its freezer and stuff, and it ended up
Yeah.
being fake. And I got so excited for that because it was on the news. I was like, yes, finally, a
Right.
fucking Bigfoot, finally. And they're like, nah, it's this, and that's some fake guts. I'm like, God damn it.
I
But
mean,
that
there's
picture,
been
do you remember
things
that
like
though?
that. Yeah, I do. And
The picture
it
was,
looked
yeah.
real, bro.
I saw that picture and I was like, yes, here
That's
we
a
go.
Bigfoot.
Fucking finally. I can finally like feel okay about believing in Bigfoot. But hey, let's take a break real quick, and we're going to come back and talk about the movie The Howling from 1981. So yeah, whoop, whoop. We'll see. I don't know. I just did the Juggalo thing
Whoop
because I'm
whoop.
not one. Whoop, whoop. What was my name in that Juggalo script you wrote?
Oh,
The main character name? I'm a Juggalo.
oh man, I
Or
don't
was
remember.
talking
I
like
don't
that.
remember what it was.
All
It was
right,
something
guys.
fucking
Well,
dumb.
oh shit. We'll be back. We'll talk about the Howling, and then after that, we're going to do the script for Cabin in the Hood. All right. See you soon. Let it glitch, let it glitch. When no one is around you, say, baby, I glitch you. All of a sudden glitch.
I don't want to
Glitch.
know what glitch you means.
Say my glitch. Say my glitch.
God. Okay, enough of that. Welcome back, guys. So we're gonna get into talking about the Howling here in a second, but first a word from our sponsor, Zach.
Hey everybody, do you like Diet Pepsi? That's pretty cool. You should go buy it. What a cool commercial. That's pretty cool. You should go buy it.
That's pretty
do you
cool.
like it? That's pretty cool. Go buy it. Make our company rich. But so like I've told you guys on here before, like there's a horror movie I was working on, and I got like 3 scripts for 3 different stories and whatnot. Now I'm on a 4th. But the one that I worked on recently that I told you guys about called Homebody, I got about 75% of it done, I would say. And I think there's some good shots on there, but I'm going to cut it. And I want to do this shit when I have help. So, like, I had some shots that I really like. I think there's some cool shots in there. Like, especially like at the beginning, there's a shot where I'm like watching TV in my living room and we have I have the space heater on. It's like what are those called? With the metal dome. I can't think what they're called right now. But the red glow on the face looks really cool. There's shots that I like in it, and like overall, I'm pleased with it. But like, it's one of those things. Like, if I'm going to buckle down and actually make a movie like that, I need help. Like, I can't just like. I mean, I could put it out and I could keep doing it, and like it would turn out to be okay. But like, I want to make it good. You know, I want people to help me. Like, I need people for effects. I need more actors from like certain parts at certain times. But that being said, I've been thinking about found footage style movies, and I've been watching a lot of those lately. Some of them are really good. Some of them are a complete shit show. But they're pretty easy to make filming-wise because you can use your phone. And that's what, when we get done recording tonight, I'm going to try to record a found footage style movie. And it's basically going to be like a haunted house, like Ghost Hunter style movie. Like, basically, I'm a guy that has a show on YouTube called I Guess This Place is Haunted, and like nothing ever happens. So like, and then he comes to this house here, and it's like pretty fucking haunted as shit. And I got a bunch of ideas, and I was going to record it all last night, but I realized that I really needed to structure shit instead of just wing it. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of improv and winging it. But like, I have it structured like this is what happens in this block. This is what happens in this block. So I'm going to try to get that done tonight. And at least like, you know, if nothing else, it'll be like practice and shit like that. But yeah, I'm going to try to do found footage tonight. Try to do it all in one night as well. So it's probably not going to be a super long movie. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Like, it's going to help with like sound effects I can just throw in there and stuff. So I don't know. I got ideas I think it's going to make it kind of creepy. So we'll see what happens. I'll have these mango White Claws help me out.
God, I mean, if you're drinking mango White Claws, it's going to be a great movie.
I'm always like, White Claws, no flaws. You know what I mean?
That was disgusting. Thank you for that.
What's the saying they actually say? No claws when or no laws when you're drinking White Claws.
Yeah.
Like, I can drink and drive now.
That's so dumb.
Now that I'm drinking this, there's absolutely no laws.
God, you better go out and commit a felony then, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, time's ticking. You can only do it until the White Claw is gone. If you're not currently drinking White Claw, does the law apply?
I'll sip it all night. I'll just always have one with me to sip, just in case I need to break the law.
You have like an emergency White Claw like hanger on your belt instead of like a gun holster.
Yeah. I'm gonna rob this bank. There's no laws right now.
God.
But I'm also gonna have another announcement for Maddie. You already know about it, but like I'm really excited to announce something. I can't do it yet just because I don't want anybody to steal the idea, which they probably won't. But like I'm probably going to have my own business going up late summer at some point. I got a business partner, so it's me and him. I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is yet, but I think it's going to be fucking awesome, and I think it's going to grow into something even awesomer. And it's going to be horror movie related. So Stick around, Trashbloodians.
To be continued. And now on to our next event in the program. We're going to talk about the Howling.
Oh, like that.
Ooh, yeah.
Look at me. I'm a howling boy. Ooh.
Okay, but first of all, can we talk about how half of the howls in the Howling, they don't sound like they're howling. It does not sound like howls. It doesn't even sound like what it's supposed to sound like.
What did
like,
it sound like?
just-
I can like kind of picture it. Just sounds kind of weird, right?
Yeah, it's just not what you'd expect, like quite a werewolf to sound like. It sounds
Mhm.
more alienish or like
Mhm.
I don't know. It's just non-distinct, and I was expecting more classic Howling, I suppose. I don't know.
That's kind of cool though. Like, because I mean, I guess a werewolf is like a mixed breed of creature. You know, human and whatever werewolf, and like some sort of mystical. So,
Yeah, I mean, it's true. I mean, if something that we don't know what it is, like we haven't found a werewolf to prove what a werewolf sounds. So in theory, a werewolf could sound like anything. It's
Yeah.
just what our perceptions are of it.
Mhm. So why don't you tell us the synopsis and director and special effects guy and all that stuff?
Oh God, I don't know if I can find the special effects guy.
It's on the Wikipedia page. Like, I just want to mention his name
To
because
think I trusted
he did a great fucking
IMDb.
job. It might
I'm
be on
sorry,
there as well.
Trashbloodians. I failed you. I went to IMDb instead of Wikipedia.
Well, I'm sure it's on there too. Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I'm too dumb. So, The Howling is a horror movie that was released in 1981. It was directed by Joe Dante. I didn't really know anybody in it, but it stars Dee Wallace, Patrick McNay, Dennis Dugan, and Robert Picardo. I didn't know any of
Dee
them.
Wallace was kind of like a bigger actress back in the day.
Bigger name in the day.
Or bigger name, yeah.
Back
But,
in the day.
This movie also came out the same year as American Werewolf in London. So, like, two huge impact werewolf movies came out the same year. And, like, honestly, in my opinion, American Werewolf in London is definitely better. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the Howling, but American Werewolf in London is just a fan-fucking-tastic movie.
I feel like I feel the same way just because the overall plot of The Howling was just kind of weird. Like it was like a lot of weird stuff just happened and it had a lot of weird pauses that I felt like went on longer than necessary that just made it felt kind of fake instead of like real reactions.
Well, do you have the synopsis in front of you?
Yeah, sorry. I got distracted.
No, it's fine. Yeah, let's read that and then we'll talk about like stuff that we thought about. Let's talk about stuff that we thought about.
So the brief overview for the movie, how they describe it, is after a bizarre and nearly deadly encounter with a serial killer, a television newswoman is sent to a remote mountain resort whose residents may not be what they seem.
Ooh. They turn out to be mermaids.
They're like, join my mermaid cult. We'll swim all day.
So how this movie started out, I thought was cool because, like you said, this reporter was meeting up with a serial killer. There's a serial killer on the loose named Eddie, and she gets in contact with him somehow, and like she's a reporter for this news station, and they have a setup where she's going to go meet him and interview him. And what they do is he has her meet her in like a porn shop.
Not just in a porn shop, specifically in a viewing room to watch movies.
What they call an arcade. Those are called arcades. Like I remember that, like hearing about, or like back in the day going to like truck stop, like porn shops for the fuck of it, you know, you're on the road or something. Let's go in here. This will be funny. But you basically go in this room and shut yourself in and watch porno and probably jerk off. It's not an arcade. Like I always wondered, is like, man, how's this an arcade? Is this like a video game style porno? And then I found out what it was. Like, oh, you just close the door and masturbate.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, it was like a really weird thing because like so she's sitting in there and then like they show this like rape scene happening.
Yeah, which is really uncomfy.
Yeah, it made it very uncomfortable. And then he shows up behind her and he's like, I don't remember what all he says to her, but like he's going to attack her because I think he's about to like turn into a werewolf is what's going on there.
You can kind of see it, like you can kind of see his like silhouette changing, but there was a
doesn't
bright
I think
light
his voice
behind him.
changes a little bit too, or something like that. But like the cops bust in, they find out like I think they were trying to find where she was with him, and they end up like they're so willy-nilly about how they handle it. They just come in, they hear her scream, and then they just start shooting at stuff. And they're like,
Just
they could have killed her.
wildly,
Yeah, they're like,
100%.
"Bah, bah, bah," and then you see blood on the floor, and they didn't hit her or anything, but it was like, I guess that is pretty cop-like though. They just fucking shoot and ask questions later.
Well,
But
they did blame it on the rookie though, because like the newer cop was the one who did it, and the old cop was like, "Now look what you did. Now people are gonna ask questions."
yeah, oh no. But yeah, so Eddie gets away because obviously, I mean, he's a werewolf. Like, spoiler alert, but the werewolf's a werewolf. But so honestly, a lot of this, I'd say 2/3 of the movie isn't really that good. I think
I think that's fair.
the last third of the movie, in my opinion, is excellent. Like, I think it's a great horror movie. So like, the first 2/3, they go to this town. It's a reporter and her husband. And like, I don't guess it's a town, it's a little retreat for like people that are like was it like some sort of rehab of some sort? Like,
Yeah,
it was like
for
an
like
emotional
people
rehab
to
or
work through and connect with the environment and get their lives on track.
yeah, because this whole like serial killer thing, when she met up with him and all that, like when he almost attacked her, like really like scarred her. And like there was parts, she was trying to have sex with her husband, and then like she would just get like visions of like that, and she just couldn't do it. And so they're at this retreat, and like it's a bunch of fucking weirdos for the main part. Look like
The weirdest fucking group of people to have together. It just made no
basically
sense.
they look like carnival gypsies. Like carnies
Yeah.
mixed with gypsies. Yeah, kind of
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
a good description.
Not all of them, but like some of them, And like there was one dude that was running the whole show, some old dude, some doctor. And so basically, like there's this girl in there. She reminds me of a witch. Like,
Yeah,
the
that's
girl
what
with
I
the-
thought at first.
Yeah, she's like dressed in black, and she's like super fucking hot too. I'm not gonna lie.
Way
Like, I don't
hotter
mean
than
that-
the main girl. 100%.
Oh yeah, fuck her. Like, yeah, and like when I say shit like that on the show, I don't mean misogynistically or anything like that. I'm just like, fuck, she is hot as fuck, man. I got feelings, I can express them, but so she's trying to seduce the husband, and like at one point she finally does, and like he goes over there, and wait, what happens? Does he like wait?
Yeah,
I'm forgetting
well, they
something on there.
start. No, they meet up. Like, he wakes up in the middle of the night, and like she's calling to him or something, and they meet up in front of this bonfire, and they just they start fucking as humans, and then they slowly both transform into their werewolves
Yeah, so like
until they're doing it literally doggy style.
What was it happened where how did he get bit? I'm trying to remember. He got bit on the arm.
Yeah,
Like,
he
I
was
think they were-
walking home. He went to this witch lady's cabin because she was gonna cook that rabbit that he shot.
You're right.
Yeah.
And she started to like make out with him or try to.
And
make
he
the
was like,
move, and he's like,
"Whoa."
I'm married.
So he was walking home. It was really late. That scene was really fucking cool because it was the lighting in it was really cool. It had like a blue tint to it. There was lots of fog, and he was just kind of walking around, and then it came out of nowhere. Just, I think it bit him, or did it scratch him?
I think it was a scratch.
No, he got
I can't
bit.
remember. Or was it a bit? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he
can't
got-
remember. I should know since.
because later when he actually had sex with her, he had scratches on his back, and they weren't there before, and it started to hold.
Yeah, well, she scratched him right there, like
Yeah.
the witch-looking lady. Yeah, so they go have sex and turn into werewolves, or they're turning into werewolves. They got the teeth and the hair and all that shit, and the eyes look really cool in this movie. Like the special effects for the werewolves in this movie, especially in 1981, are fucking great.
Oh yeah.
And like one scene that like, did you find the special effects guy's name?
Oh,
I just
let
want
me
to
see.
like, I mean, not that he needs a shout out from us, but like we got to say his name because like at one point Eddie goes into it's in the doctor's office, and like he traps the main character in there, and he turns into a werewolf. And like it's really cool looking. It's all practical effects. Obviously, it's 81.
Well, doesn't he first turn into a werewolf with the other girl? Terry, her friend. That's when he first transformed.
Who, Eddie? No, I'm talking about like when it
Oh,
shows
that
that
was way
huge transformation.
Yeah, I
Like,
could have sworn that was when they were trapped in the doctor's office or whatever.
yeah,
Because then
that's when
she came in later and found Terry
Mhm.
dead, and then that's when he came in and transformed again.
Yeah. Like, so the first time he transformed, I don't think it showed as much. And
I could
like,
have sworn it did. I don't know.
maybe it did. Maybe I'm wrong. But like the transformation scene that I'm thinking about is when he was in there the second time, and she was in there. Like, but it was like the main transformation scene where it like shows his head bubbling and all this stuff. And he does the classic like werewolf thing. Like, I had a joke in my stand-up. It was a true story about how me and BJ took a bunch of mushrooms and then pretended to were turning into werewolves one night.
That's
And
awesome.
we did the whole thing where we like look at your hand, put it in front of you, and look at your hand. And they did that in the Howling when he was changing. He was like looking at his hand as the fingernails were growing, and it reminded me of that. But like the whole transformation scene was done really well. I think they could have cut it a little shorter.
It was a little long, but
it went on a
to
long
be
time.
fair, I mean, the transformation scene in a werewolf movie was one of the most important parts of the entire movie. So I can understand why they'd want to show it off.
It was great. I think it was awesome. I think what they should have done while he was transforming was had more action from her, maybe trying to get out. Because she literally just watches him for like 5 minutes as he's changing into a werewolf. And I assume when they're changing into a werewolf, they're in pain. Like, oh, God, like you could probably run and try to leave. But she just sits there and just like watches.
It takes them so long. Every one of them.
Yeah. It's like a solid like 5-minute change or something like that. And then finally she grabs some acid and like pours it on him and it burns him or something. But like when it shows them like as a full werewolf, like he's completely transformed and running around, which might have been in the part you were talking about. I can't remember like how it went. But that big transformation scene was one I was thinking about that got that guy a lot of notoriety. Did you find his name?
Yeah, so this is interesting. So Rick Baker did the original special effects, but then he left to do special effects for American Werewolf in London. So he went over to do that, and so the rest of the special effects were done by his assistant, Rob Botton.
Yeah. He's the one that did the transformation scene. That's
really cool.
I didn't realize that Baker was in that, and then he did the better choice though, because he ended up getting, as of yet, the best werewolf transformation scene of all time.
Right.
And they have it in a museum somewhere, or it's at a fucking Universal Studio somewhere. But they have the actual stuff, like you watch like the mouth like get long and stuff like that.
That'd be so cool to go see. I'd love to do that.
So bad. But yeah, like the werewolves looked really cool, and like the last 30 minutes of it, there was a lot of action going on. There was like they're going back into the village, like all the people are turning into fucking werewolves and shit. And actually, the girl that got killed at first, I guess, was like she also worked for the news company that the main star was in, and the guy that was there was a guy with her trying to help, and like, was he the one that killed Eddie?
Yeah, so he went to a place they had visited before with him and his girlfriend, that other woman, and he bought some silver bullets, and he had some kind of goofy gun. It was like a bolt action rifle.
Yeah.
And that's it's so funny to me. You're going out hunting werewolves and you're going to have to get a bolt action. Like,
it's kind of cool though. I like those though. It does a certain effect when you see like you do that and a bullet flies out and stuff. It's kind of cool looking. But like they didn't believe it. He had silver at first, and he started shooting people, and people were like, "Oh fuck that!"
And they actually died. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. Yeah. Overall, I mean, I'd probably give The Howling, if I had to give it a Spooky Boy rating, I'd probably give it like a 4 overall.
Really? Shit.
Yeah.
Damn, that's low.
I mean, it was really cool, but it wasn't. I don't know. It just didn't. It didn't do it for me. One scene I really liked that I remember is when I think it was Eddie, and he shot his arm down in full werewolf form, and it was in that bright light where you could see his whole hand and there was blood on his fingertips like going down his claws. It just looked so real and so gory. Like that made it for me.
And there was one part where somebody got their arm chopped off and it looked really cool. because like it was a werewolf arm and it transformed back
yeah.
into a human arm. It looked really fucking cool.
It looked
But
like it was like living. It was like
Mhm.
beating, and it was so gross and pussy, and it just felt
Mhm.
really visceral.
And one part I forgot to mention about before he transformed, like he he got shot. He had bullets in his head, but they weren't silver, so it shows him like take the bullets out of his head, and then he fucking transforms.
Yeah, you're
But
right.
like the werewolves, like the special effects for the werewolves are great. Like one of the scarier things I think in the movie wasn't the full werewolf, but when you see some of them, like the extremely hot woman, and like some of the other werewolves, like when they're changing and they got the teeth in the eyes, and they look more
Oh,
like
yeah.
demons. I think that's scarier looking than the werewolves. But like this is one of those movies, like a first time, like where you see like a giant fucking werewolf that somebody built. It's like moving around and doing stuff, and it actually looks really fucking cool, But
For
like,
sure.
so at the end of it, though, like, so the main star, like the reporter chick, she ended up getting bit or whatever, and like, she wanted to go back with the story, but no, she knew that no one would believe her, so she decided to go on the air and transform into a werewolf live, which I think that's awesome. That's an awesome
That'd be
idea.
a badass move.
Like that's a good way to. I think that's a great ending. The thing I didn't like about it is how stupid her fucking werewolf looked.
Dude, I know. It looked like a house cat. Like she was pretty.
Yeah, or like some sort of weird dog, or like it didn't look anything like a werewolf. Yeah, like you said, a house cat. Like it had like a nose,
Mhm.
like
And
yeah,
it was flat, like her face was pushed in. It wasn't a werewolf.
yeah, it looked like with all the other shit they did this movie, like why would the werewolves not look like why would she not look like the other werewolves? Like it looked fucking stupid.
I wonder if there's a
I
story
like the
behind
ending.
that somewhere.
Probably.
Like why
Yeah, I
they
don't know.
looked so different.
I bet for some reason they were trying to focus on making it kind of like a feminine looking werewolf or something like that.
They
And I think
overdid
that
it.
was the wrong move. They should just made it look like the werewolves they were
Well,
showing.
the other lady, her werewolf didn't look fucking feminine. It was terrifying.
Yeah.
So, like,
and,
was the goodness of her heart too much for the werewolf to overcome?
Right.
Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, she looked like a little like schnauzer dog or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like I do like the ending. I think that's a great way to end it. I think it's awesome. They're like, no one's going to believe me, so on live news, I'm turning into a werewolf. I think that's super cool. I just, yeah, like I said, like it looked dumb as fuck, but like I'm still okay with the ending. But my spooky boy rating overall, I'm gonna give it a 7. And just because like I enjoyed the last 30 minutes so much, I think it's
Right.
a solid part of horror movie history. But like if that wasn't so good and like it was like the first 2/3 of the movie was kind of like how the whole movie was, it would have been like a 3, 4 or something like that. It was
Right.
would have been shit. But yeah, the last third of the movie, I think they really killed it. They made it entertaining. There was a lot of action going on and like scary werewolf voice. I didn't see any Carl Cornbath. That's pretty much bullshit.
I know. That's what I was thinking the whole time. I just kept picturing one of them jumping up and yelling.
One jumps up. I love doing the do.
God.
Awesome. I'm gonna miss some of BJ's characters like Carl
I know.
Carl Cornbath and Carol
Carl
Ann and
Cornbath
shit.
and Carol Ann, yeah.
BJ, if
I
you're
really like
listening-
his Freddy voice too.
Yeah. And if you're listening, we got to get you on a script. Even though you're not on the show, you got to at least do a script with us every once in a while. It's the rules. But no, but no, whenever you want to come back, BJ, it's cool. If you don't ever want to come back, it's cool. Whatever. We're still
Yeah,
good.
whatever. Whatever. It's still
Whatever.
hardcore.
It's still hardcore. But anyways, yeah, watch The Howling. I suggest it. Like I said,
suggest it.
I suggest it. It's if you haven't seen it, like if you're a big horror movie fan, there's a good chance you've already seen it. It's been years since I've watched it, and I realized that when I turned it on. It's like one of those movies, you've seen a bunch, but you forget the last time you saw it.
Right.
Like, I don't even know if I've seen it a bunch. I've seen it like a good handful of times when I was younger. But like I remember watching, and I remember like at the beginning when I see she's a reporter, like, oh yes, this is the one where at the end she fucking turns on to like I got excited about the ending. It's like I remember what happened, but like
Right.
yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. The whole movie isn't like worth a couple watches, but yeah, there's some good. There's a lot of good to it. There's a third of good to it.
There's a third of good to it. At least
Great
we're being
special
honest.
effects though. Like for 1981, practical effects is fucking great. It really was.
Yeah, the transformation scene was not as good as some others, but it was perfect for the time it was in.
Man,
It was really good.
I don't know, man. It was I mean, what other horror movies are you thinking of?
Well,
like with good transformations.
God, I can't remember the name of this movie, but I really liked it. But it was dumb as fuck. It was the dumbest fucking movie I've ever seen. It was about, I think it was in Australia, and there was something to do with they were hunting for treasure or they were drug running or something, and they got kidnapped by a local who was a skinwalker.
Was it Dog
Like,
Soldiers? Or
God,
it seems like
I don't
think
know.
Dog Soldiers was in Australia or something like that. That was a good one. Was it like army related at all?
Yeah, it was.
I
Was
think it
that
was
what
Dog
that's called?
Soldiers.
I really
Dog
liked
Soldiers, yeah.
that. I don't know
That was a
why,
good one, yeah.
but
I saw it not too
yeah.
long ago. Yeah. But yeah, for 81 and that transformation, like I'm just watching it to this day and like, fuck, how did he do that? Like the detail that they put into every single part of it, like this part of his head's gonna bubble like this. His
Yeah.
fingers are gonna grow. Like, God, I bet that took so fucking long to put together. And that's why they probably took so long to show the transformation.
No, for sure. They probably
was
had to take so many different takes too. They were probably recording that
probably,
scene
yeah.
for so much longer than what it was as like actually. So
And, like,
props to them.
The two things that like I take away from it that could have been like totally different were definitely that werewolf scene at the end, and like it just like where he's changing and she's just sitting there watching him forever. That could have been done so much better. Because it makes no sense for her to just stand there and watch that long.
Her
without getting the
reactions
fuck out of
in
there.
general were very off. Like when she walked into the doctor's office and found her like one of her best friends dead, she had like no reaction to it. Like she was a robot. It was just weird. So she could have played that character better.
The acting's not that great. That one really hot chick, it shows her great boobs. That's pretty cool. But like,
about it.
but yeah, I give it a 7 out of 10. And so next week, I don't know what we're going to talk about. Do you have an idea of what horror movie you want to talk about next week, or do you want to think?
Yeah,
about
I
it?
do. I don't want to give them a hint though.
No, we didn't give them hints so they can watch it before the next episode.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well, we didn't do that last time, but
I
we
have
didn't
it
know for
pulled
sure.
up.
But yeah, if we do have movies in mind, I'd like to let them know just so they have time to watch it with us and all that shit. Not that we have a million fans or anything. But...
Okay, so I want to watch Deathgasm.
Okay,
wanna
cool.
talk
That's a
about
good one.
Deathgasm.
Yeah, I've seen it once. I really liked it. It was good.
Yeah, me
got
too.
some
I've only
black
seen it
metal
once and I
vibes.
didn't finish it, so I'm really excited to be able to see the ending.
Okay, so we'll talk about Deathgasm. I'll bring in something. I don't know what yet. It might be like a fake. We're talking about it might be something else. I don't know for sure yet. Yeah, watch Deathgasm before we put out our new episode. That's what we'll be talking about, and it's a really good movie from what I remember. I can't remember everything about it because it's been so long. It's been like a year or two since I've seen it. Like anymore, dude. Like I can watch a movie and forget it like the next week. It seems like.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
it's
probably
I do the same
years
shit
of smoking
though.
weed. But,
Yeah.
Anyways, let's take a break. We're going to come back and do the script for A Cabin in the Hood.
Cabin in the
And,
Hood. I was so excited for this one. It made me giggle when I thought about that one.
Have you read it through yet?
I haven't read all of it. I wanted to be surprised. I just tried to
How
do some,
much
like,
did you
character
read?
voices.
I'm just curious. Like, because
I only read probably the first 3 pages, I would say.
Okay, cool. So, have you got to the cabin yet?
No.
Okay, cool. It's gonna be a surprise.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. So.
Well, and like it's funny, like right when you told me that's what you want to do, it's the first thing that clicked in my mind too. So we'll see. Anyways, we'll be right
Awesome.
back for Cabin in the Hood. Hi, welcome back to Trash Blood Horrorcast. I'm the Z Man. That's what I call myself now. Can you be the M Man?
The M-man. M-ma'am.
The M-man. So, hey guys, if you're not following us already, we are on Facebook, Instagram, Trash Blood Horrorcast. I've tried Twitter a couple of times. I just fucking hate Twitter. Like, I get on there and I'll start an account and then immediately get off just because, like, Twitter should be called Hey, Let's Argue.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Twitter's just for arguing.
Or, hey, I'm a bullshit musician in a shitty band, but here's my strong opinion on politics. All right, back to Smash Mouth songs. You know, Twitter fucking sucks, man. But yeah, you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We got a Patreon. We have 5 different tiers, I believe. Each tier has something more. Like for the $25 ones, has like 4 or 5 different things we'll throw in there, like art that we can do, a signed script, certain episodes that like RoboCop and Rainbow saga that we put together in Cinti and all that stuff. But go to Patreon, look at Trash Blood Horrorcast. We have all sorts of different stuff on there. Or if you just want to donate some money to us, that'd be great. We put a lot of work into this. The editing, fuck man, I wish we got paid to do the editing because it takes
It's
a
rough.
while. And it can, dude, so many technology problems. It is a pain in the fucking ass. I'm so sick of technology problems. But yeah, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Patreon. I also have a show with Ray Porter called Distant Uncles with Ray Porter and Zach Slusher. It's like a lot of funny videos that we made. I don't want to say sketch comedy because there's like a variety of different type of videos we have on there, but it's definitely comedy. And recently I have created my own solo video project called We're Already Dead. And it's basically it's videos I find of like old cartoons or old shows and stuff like that. And like it's the best way I can describe it is the way I describe it on the page. Like go to Facebook, We're Already Dead. It's on Instagram as well, but it's like uncomfortable chaos mixed with a fun nightmare.
I like
have you
that
seen
description.
it? Have you watched any of the videos yet?
No, I haven't. I didn't even know you created it.
My own fucking sister.
Well, you didn't tell me, bro.
I've been sending messages on Facebook and all that shit.
Oh yeah.
But no,
okay.
it's cool. I know you're not on Facebook very often. I know. I'll send you like a link to stuff earlier. I got like 6 videos, but like I got one that's like He-Man and like some of it's like blasphemic and it's just very weird. It's dark and like if you watch Distant Uncles shit where I've taken like videos and mashed them together, make like a really dark weird video. That's kind of what I'm doing here. So I decided to make my own show since I'm already doing those by myself. That part of Distant Knuckles, I was like, well, why don't I just take what I'm doing there and actually make it into my own show? Since it's not me and Ray both working on that.
Right.
So I'm having a lot of fun doing it. I think the videos I fucking love them. Like even our mom likes them. Like I'm really surprised because like there's no message. Like I think like I was talking to Ray. I think people will see some of the stuff and the stuff we've done on Distant Uncles. It's like that. There's some sort of message behind it. Maybe sometimes like a little smidge of like just reality, but like I'm really trying to make something uncomfortable and weird. Like I want you to like watch it whole through. I want you to like it, but also feel like weird and uncomfortable at the same time.
Yeah.
And like mom says, like, "Whoa, you're doing really good at these." Like I thought you would hate these,
Yeah.
The very first video is called "Why Did God Take My Child Away?" And like,
damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm like, follow me on the Facebook page. We're Already Dead. Like I've posted like, hey, what are some 80s cartoons you want to see be turned into a nightmare? And I got a whole list of them to do. I've done like 4 or 5 of them. I got 6 left to do. And then after that, I think I'm going to do some horror movies or like some old commercials or something. Yeah, check it out.
That's
It's
awesome.
a lot of fun. And it's like, if you're into horror and trash blood, related things, I think you'll like it because it's just it's weird and creepy. And there's like a couple of videos I'm like watching these, like, man, I did really good at making this. This is kind of beautiful in this one part. I really don't want to fucking brag about anything because not everyone's going to see it that way. Some people are going to see this and think it's absolute garbage to me. And that's what opinions are. But so far, I'm really proud of what I've done with it. Like, I'm really fucking digging it. So I suggest you check out my stuff.
Trash blood suggested.
Yeah. So is there anything you want to plug or anything like that before we move on to the script?
No, I have nothing going on in my life.
Well, I know you're not really on social media.
Not really.
That much. I mean, you got your
Which
accounts,
I think it's a good thing. Like I have
It is.
accounts, but I'm not really on it a lot, and I don't interact with a lot of people on it. It's not really worth it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I like to post just goofy shit that I like think of that I think's funny for the main part. Like it's been a lot better since Trump has been gone. I was like, I was trying to curb myself on arguing, but like, there's just people
There's
you
so
see
much to
that,
argue
yeah,
with.
it's like, god damn, there's just like motherfuckers out there like he stole the vote and all this shit. It's like there's no proof, and like I have to call them stupid fucking cunts. Like, and then I recently got banned from Facebook for like 30 days because some chick was like talking shit, like basically downplaying the coronavirus like it was bullshit, and I called her a cunt, and then I got banned for like 30 days. It was fine though. I really didn't give a shit. But now that I'm back, I'm like, I don't want to fucking argue. I'm gonna post shit I think's funny, or just random stuff, or I'm gonna fucking promote the stuff that I'm making. I'm done fucking. There's no point to argue on Facebook. It's so fucking dumb. I've been a part of it many times, And like afterwards, I'm like, God, it drains you. It's
Yeah.
like, have you ever seen What We Do in the Shadows?
I love
Have
that
you
show.
seen the show? Okay, yeah. Like Colin Robinson, he's an energy vampire.
Yeah,
That's
I
something
love
he would
that.
do. There's one episode where he actually does get on there and like he finds a new way to drain energy, and that's to get online and like start arguments
Yeah.
about stupid shit.
Which is just fucking perfect. Like that is such a good character and so
Oh, yeah.
unexpected, but it
He's
just
so
works
funny.
so well.
And when he's getting like sucking a lot of energy from a situation, and the camera shows him like, he has this huge smile on his face, and his eyes are glowing. It's so
He's so
fucking funny.
creepy.
It's honestly, in my opinion, it's in my top 5 favorite shows of all time. It is so fucking good. And like the movie before that was good, I liked it, but this show is fucking incredible, dude. And Kyle Newacek that does to help create Workaholics and directs a lot of those, or most of them. He directs that show or directed
That's
an
awesome.
episode or two.
I didn't know
a few
that.
episodes, I think. But speaking of that, Workaholics is coming out with a movie as well. They're about to start working on that.
Really?
Which I love that show. Like they got the 3 guys and Kyle have a podcast called This Is Important. It's pretty funny, man. It's really cool. I like it a lot.
Well, I hope the movie doesn't disappoint.
Me too, man. Like I just like recently watched all the episodes again. Like season 5 is lacking a little bit, but pretty much the whole show is pretty fucking solid. It's fucking funny. I can see why
It
somebody
is
would
very
like
consistent.
it. I mean, it's really dumb, and it's honestly it is more of a dude show. But like I know a lot of women that like it. Like when me and Jill, my fiance, first started talking on Tinder, that was one of the first things we started talking about. Like it's a good show. I mean, I could see it more as like a dude show, but it's fucking funny. But anyways, now that we're done plugging people that don't need to be plugged, that sounds weird to say.
Yeah, maybe you should get a different context there.
All right, we are going to do our script for Cabin in the Hood. And I wrote this one, and yeah, that's all I got to say about that. And like I said, this is kind of like the start to the new Trash Blood universe. I guess the alternate reality, Dimension 2, or whatever the fuck we want to call it.
Dimension 2, I like that.
All right, are you ready?
Let's go.
All right, let me pick up my beer so it's handy.
Want
My
to
handy beer.
give a good goodbye to Carl Cornbath's hardcore as we start the new universe.
Bye, Carl. We hope to see you again. Bye, Caroline. Bye, you picked it, motherfucker. All right, here we go. Cabin in the Hood. The year is 1957 in a normal suburban neighborhood. Interior, kitchen of a 50s style house with the 50s style housewife. She's cooking oatmeal and eggs for her 10-year-old twins, a boy and a girl. She calls to them.
Bodong, Chavez, hurry up now. Breakfast is almost ready.
Bodong yells from her in her brother's room.
Coming, Mother. Chavez, hurry up and put on your boots. Mom's gonna flip her wig.
I'm trying. They don't fit.
Make them fit.
Oh, wait, that's you.
Bodong, Chavez, you better get those feet a scootin'.
God damn it, Chavez.
I'm trying. Honest, Bodong, honest.
Children, do hurry now. I'm starting to feel my wig flip. Mina likey.
We're going to have to just break your toes and shove your feet in there.
Break my toes? That's an owie.
My wig is about 10 seconds from flipping.
Bodong quickly smashes a big schoolbook down on both of Chavez's feet, breaking his toes. Ah! You broke my fucking toes!
Put your feet in the boots. We both know it'll be worse if Mom gets mad.
Okay, I'll do it. Owie!
That's it. I guess I'll come get you myself.
The mom is cutting vegetables on the kitchen counter. She picks up a kitchen knife and turns around. The kids are standing by the table. She says,
Ah, there you are, children. I guess I won't be needing this.
She forcefully stabs the knife into a wooden cutting board, leaving it standing. The kids flinch. She says,
Sit down, you two.
Your oatmeal is on the table, and your eggs are coming right up.
They nervously sit down.
Orange juice or milk?
Milk!
Milk. We're out of milk. It'll have to be orange juice. Idiots.
She takes 2 glasses out of the cabinet and fills them with hot tap water. She sets them on the table and says,
Here you go. 2 glasses of hot tap water.
Hot water?
Yes, darling. We're out of milk, and you two aren't good enough to drink orange juice. Why are you so mean to us?
She grabs her own hair furiously and hold on. She grabs her own hair furiously and has an insanely mad face. She yells,
Because you're the reason your father's dead. You're the reason my husband is dead.
Both children look scared and sad. Chavez is crying and says, That's not true, Mama. It was an accident.
Murder. Sorry. My bad. Do that again.
It was an It's not true, Mama. It was an accident.
You're fucking murderers. No, we're not. It was an accident.
The mom lets out a blood-curdling scream and viciously headbutts the table 4 times. Oh, Mom, no! She slowly raises her head up from the last headbutt. Her forehead is gushing blood and dripping on her sinister smile. She says,
Well, better finish up your breakfast. You don't want to be late for school.
The kids are in shock and staring at her. She walks to the living room and lays on the couch. She's crying and bleeding all over the pillow. She cries until she falls asleep. Like she immediately starts snoring like, ah. The twins look at each other. Bodong whispers,
Oh shit, wait, I think I'm in the wrong place.
Okay.
Sorry.
Come on, Chavez. Let's scram before Mom wakes up.
My toes are broken. I can barely walk.
Come on. I have an idea.
She helps Chavez walk to the door. They go to the garage, and Bodong pulls down a box from a shelf. She sets it on the floor and takes the lid off. She pulls out a pair of roller skates. Chavez says, But those are Dad's.
Just put them on, Chavez. I'll pull you on my bike.
Okay, I guess that'll work. Chavez picks up a skate and deeply smells the inside. Oh, yeah.
What the HE double hotkey sticks, Chavez?
It still smells like Father's feet.
Barfarama. Just put the skates on, freak.
I am. Lay off. I mean, do you really think it was necessary to break my toes?
Mom had a knife and refuses to buy new shoes. Just put the skates on. I'm going to grab a rope.
She grabs a rope from a shelf and ties it to her 50s style little girl bike. Chavez painfully puts the skates on. Oh, gee, Willy Wonkers! Oh, it hurts so bad. Willy Wonkers!
Was
Gee.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory even out in 1957 when this takes place?
It's not Willy Wonka, it's Willy Wonkers.
Oh, my bad, my bad.
Gee, Willy Wonkers. She helps him up and ties the rope around his waist.
There you go, you freak.
Stop calling me that.
Stop being that. Now hold on to the rope and I'll pull you along.
They hear their mom send out a blood-curdling scream.
You fucking killed him. Come on, let's scram.
They take off on the driveway. They take off down the driveway and look in the living room window to see their mom stabbing the couch and screaming. She walks out the front door, waves at them with a knife, and says with an insane smile,
Have a good day, children. I'll see you when you get home. Oh, goodness gracious. That was truly a stink butt.
That was stupid, but oh shit, we're okay. Bodong is pulling Chavez down the street as he tries not to fall. He's in pain and says, "It hurts so bad, Bodong."
Oh, stop being a crybaby. They're just toes. They just fix themselves.
I need a doctor.
Just go to the school nurse when we get there.
They keep going down the street. Interior, back at the house. The mom is in the bathroom looking in the mirror with a seething face and mascara running down her cheeks. She says,
Fucking kids. I'm going to end them. They killed my poor Floyd. Why? Why?
she composes herself and wipes the tears off. She takes a wash rag and washes the makeup off. She goes into her bedroom, opens the closet, and pulls out a shoebox. She sets it on the bed and takes the lid off. She pulls a necklace out with a black crystal attached and puts it on. She pulls out a book with a face on the cover. It's the Necronomicon. She opens it up and says,
I must find a spell to make them suffer.
She flips through the book and finds a spell. She puts her hand on it and says,
Yes, perfect spell for my little shits.
She takes her left hand and presses the crystal to her chest. She takes her right hand and holds up the heavy metal horns. She starts the spell.
Dark forces, I call upon thee. I wish for my children to suffer and extinguish from this earth. Round bubble, coddle bop, gravy taste, fiddle snot.
A wind gusts through her house, causing the pages to flip. She takes her hand off the crystal, and it's glowing like a black light. She continues the spell.
Candle box, shrivel bait, corn plop, foppy dog, foggy dog.
The wind blows violently. Her necklace floats horizontally in the air, glowing brighter and shaking.
The spell is working. Ruffle bunt, bingle hop, ruby jar, snack shack.
I love making these spells. We've done spells like in other episodes. Anyways, you've been there. The necklace
I've been
is
there.
so bright, she squints. It starts twisting and a chain chokes her.
I can't breathe.
The necklace rips off of her neck and flies through the ceiling with a loud and bright energy blast. She falls to her hands and knees, catching her breath. She says,
It worked. God damn it. It worked.
Exterior, the sky. The crystal flies through the air like a comet. It lands in the woods, making a loud crashing sound. The glow rapidly pulsates. All of a sudden, a huge crack in the earth forms and ends on the side of a street. A stone road arises from the crack. Exterior. The kids are on the street as Bodong continues to pull Chavez. She sees the road the crystal built and stops. Chavez crashes into her and falls down. He cries out, Ow! My entire body! That's an owie!
Where did this road come from?
He stands up, dusts himself off, and says, Gee willikers! It's like an oldie type road.
Chavez, what do you say we ditch school and see what's down this road?
I don't know, Bodong. It looks kind of creepy.
That's why I want to go down there. Stop being a wuss.
But if Mom finds out, she'll kill us.
She's eventually going to kill us anyways. She blames us for Dad's death and won't change her mind.
It's not our fault. It's not our fault.
I know, Chavez. I know.
They look in the sky and they look into the sky and reminisce about the accident. The screen becomes blurry and fades into them in a truck with her dad. They're on a curvy mountain road somewhere in North Carolina or some shit like that. The dad says, I sure do love you kids. How about we sing a song?
Yeah.
Bodong, how about you start us off?
You got it, Daddy D Pops. We're in the truck with our dad.
There's nothing that can make us go sad. There was a point of our lives when you lived inside my nads. They go around a curve, and there's a moose in the road. Bodong screams.
Dad, a moose!
Zoinky boing doing! Hold on, kids! Ah! That's a crash noise. The screen fades out and black into a blurry scene. Okay, wait. The screen fades out and then back into a blurry scene of the police cars and ambulances around. The screen clears up and shows the kids unconscious on stretchers getting wheeled to the ambulance. Bodong wakes up to see their dad hanging out of the windshield of the upside-down truck. The moose is dead and has its left antler wedged horizontally into his torso. Bodong cries and screams.
Daddy, no! Daddy!
They put the kids in the back of the ambulance and shut the doors. It says shut the doors. They shit all over the doors. Shut the doors. The mom is crying and talking to one of the cops.
No, he can't be dead. It just can't be.
I'm sorry, ma'am. The moose either stabbed him to death with his antlers in the crash.
They look over and see that's the obvious reason. The cop continues.
Now, this type of stuff happens a dozen times a year. But
But what?
there's a split in the torso of the moose. It looks like it's from the glass, but there is a chance that your children jumped out from the truck, tackled the moose, cut the torso, climbed inside the moose, used it as a full body puppet, got in front of the trunk, got hit, antler stabbed your hubby, jumped out of the body, and got back into the truck.
Do you really think that's what happened?
Well, that's supposed to be the cop. Well, there's absolutely no evidence pointing towards that. And like I said, this happens often, people hitting wildlife. It's honestly impossible for them to do that too. But based on all that, I think that's what happened.
I'll fucking kill them.
She runs to the ambulance and bangs on the back doors. She screams.
You killed him. You fucking killed him.
The screen fades back into the kids at the end of the mysterious roads. Chavez says, I'm in. Let's do it, Bodong. Fuck, Mom.
Yeah, fuck Mom. Stand on my bike pegs. The road is rough.
I sure wish my toes weren't broken.
Sorry, bud.
They start down the road. The further they get, the darker it gets. The entrance of the path the entrance of the path grows over with weeds and plants. Chavez says,
Hey, Bodong?
Yes, Chavez?
why is it getting darker? It's still morning time.
I don't know. Maybe there's just more trees or something.
Yeah, probably more trees. They keep riding down the road. Interior, the kitchen of the house. The mother is dicing onions with a crazy smile. She says,
They're going to die. They're going to fucking die.
Exterior, back to the road. The twins see what looks like a cabin in the distance. Bodong stops the bike and says,
Do you see that, Chavez?
It's somebody's house. We better get out of here.
Screw that. Let's check it out.
I'm scared, Bodong.
Oh, hush. Stop being a bad potty boy.
Bad potty boy? I don't even want to know what that is. They ride off and get to the front of the cabin. Bodong gets off and puts the bike on the kickstand. They stand in front of the front porch. There's something odd about this cabin. Chavez says, "It looks like nobody lives here." Bodong walks up the porch stairs and looks into a window. She says,
It's empty. Maybe we can live here.
Soinky boing doing. We can live here and never see Mom again.
Bodong tries the doorknob and it opens. They slowly walk in and look around. Bodong says,
Hello? Is anyone here?
It looks completely empty.
Chavez shuts the door behind them. They walk into the living room and stand in front of the fireplace. Chavez says,
Whoa, cool fireplace.
Well, looks like we have heat. One problem solved. We'll have to get furniture somehow.
They walk to the kitchen to see a sink and an oven. Bodong turns on the sink and it runs. She says,
Water? Check.
Chavez opens the oven and says,
Looks like we have something to cook with. I'm a real boy that's... God damn it. Looks like we have something to cook with. I'm a real boy that fancies yummy yip yips.
You're really fucking weird.
I'm not.
Yeah, saying yummy yup yips isn't weird. Oh, wait. Oh, that's sarcasm. Yeah, saying yummy yip yips isn't weird. Let's go see the bedroom. Oh my god, why can't I fucking talk?
The bathroom.
Yeah, saying yummy yip yips isn't weird. Let's go see the bedroom and bathroom.
Poo poo pee pee.
No, Chavez, you're not weird at all.
They go to the bathroom. Bodong tests the sink.
Water's on.
Chavez makes his hands into a cup and dips it into the toilet. Bodong yells.
What the hell are you doing?
He brings his hands to his mouth and takes a drink.
Water's clean.
What the fuck is wrong with you, Chavez?
I don't know. Maybe I really am a bad potty boy.
A bad potty boy? I don't even want to know what that is.
But you called me that earlier.
Shut your fucking pie hole, dickweed. Let's check out the bedroom.
Jeez, that's a little harsh.
You drank toilet water, kid. Come on.
Interior, the kitchen at their house. The mom is still chopping onions and cackling. She cuts so many onions that they're all over the counters and piling up on the floor.
They shall suffer. they shall fucking suffer.
She cuts the tip of one of her fingers off and doesn't flinch. She's bleeding pretty bad, but keeps cackling.
They'll cease to exist. They'll cease to fucking exist. But
Mom's just farting. Interior, the bedroom of the cabin. There's a twin-sized bed with a frame made out of logs. Chavez says,
A twin-sized bed? That's perfect, because we're twins.
one less thing we have to get for the house. We officially have ourselves a cabin.
Zoinky boing doing. This is swell, sis.
Swell as hell.
Writing is a neat thing for you.
all of a sudden a loud thud hits the roof. They look up scared and as dust falls on them. Chavez says,
What was that?
Probably just a tree branch that fell on the roof.
another loud thud hits. Bodong screams.
Okay, that's probably not a tree branch.
What in the gee willy shamalama ding dong do we do?
We go see what the hell it is.
What? Why would we ever do that?
Because we have to protect our home, Chavez.
Yeah, I get that, but is this actually our home? We don't know who owns it, and we just walked in and was like, well, this is ours now. Who the fuck do we think we are?
Well, you see, Chavez.
You made it Tootie. Funny laugh. You're right, Bodong. Let's see what's going on. They walk to the living room, and Bodong opens the front door.
What the hell is that?
There's a black cloth draping over the front porch, flapping in the wind. Chavez says, "Let's go to the yard and see what it is." They walk out to the yard. They walk out to the yard, turn around, and look at the roof. Bodong says,
That wasn't there before.
"What in the silly willy cakes is that?"
I mean, it looks like...
Wait, no way.
Yep, it's,
The camera pans away from the kids to the house. There's a huge black cloth on the roof. Chavez picks up where Bodong left off. Cabin in the hood.
Swingy boing doing. That's the titular line.
You're right. But why a hood?
I don't know. I'm confused.
Me too. Did you see that coming at all, that it was going to be a hood?
No,
A cabin
I was,
wearing a hood? Okay, good.
I did
was
not at
hoping that
all. I was so confused at first. I was like, okay, what's going on?
Interior, the kitchen with Mom. She's now aggressively chopping onions sitting at the kitchen table. There's onions covering all the counters and the floor. She's still cackling.
The time draws near. The time draws fucking near.
She continues to cackle as blood sprays on her face. She's chopped half of her hand off and doesn't even flinch.
Die. Fucking die.
A neighbor hears her screaming and calls the police. Exterior, the yard of the cabin. The kids are confused on why there's a hood on top of the cabin. Chavez says, "So, who did this and why?"
And how did they do it so quickly?
They hear something running in the woods behind them. They turn around frightened. Then they hear to the right. Side, followed by everywhere else. They're back to back, spinning in circles, scared shitless. Bodong yells out,
Hello? Is somebody out there?
"We're sorry for going into your house. We'll go ahead and leave now." The running stops and everything goes silent. The twins are scared. Chavez sees a dark figure appear in the woods to the left of the house. It looks like a shadow person with red glowing eyes. Chavez says, "Oh, over there! There's something in the woods!"
Where?
Chavez points at the entity and says, "There! It's right there!"
Oh, fuck. There it is. I see it. What do you want from us?
The being looks up and points at the roof. It says in a terrifying voice,
The cabin. It has a hood on it.
Yeah, it does. It vanishes and appears on the other side of the cabin. It points to the roof and yells out,
It's the cabin in the hood. Yeah, we heard you. Loud and clear.
It disappears again and appears in the woods behind them, laughing. They turn around quickly.
The cabin you were just inside of is wearing a hood. Hoods are for people, not cabins.
Okay, seriously?
Yeah, what the fuck is going on? The cabin is wearing a hood. That's unheard of. Unheard of, I tell you. Yeah, I guess so.
The entity flies off down the road, laughing and screaming.
The cabin has a hood on. That's a weird thing to happen.
That's a weird thing to happen. The shadow disappears in the distance. Bodong says,
Okay, I'm not even that scared anymore. I'm just confused.
"Me too."
You know, it's so confusing that it's kind of giving me a headache.
Yeah, me too.
She looks up in the air in thought. Interior, back to Mom's kitchen. She's standing on top of the table now with the cutting board on top of the refrigerator, still cutting onions. There's so many on the floor that it's up to the counter. Her hand just looks completely mutilated now. She chops and cackles.
I'll have my revenge. I'll have my fucking revenge.
She continues to chop and cackle. She's covered in blood from her mutilated hand. Exterior, back at the cabin front yard. The twins are both very confused. Chavez says, well, I guess we should probably scram.
We'll do no such scramming. This is our house now. Who cares if it has a hood?
She starts walking towards the house when she hears a demonic voice come from Chavez.
You should go.
She stops in her tracks and looks frightened. She stands there frozen. Chavez says,
What's wrong, sis? Did you shit your pants?
she turns around. Chavez has solid black eyes. She says,
Yeah, I shit my pants when we were leaving the house.
Wait, what? That was a long time ago.
Yeah, shit 'em. Shit 'em good.
Grouse. No matter. The cabin that you say belongs to you has on a hood.
Yeah, man, we've established that. Leave my brother's body.
I don't think you understand what I'm saying. The cabin there? It has a hood on! Hoods are clothing for people, not structures!
No, I understand you completely. Why though? I'm confused.
Cabins don't even have heads. Look, it's the cabin in the hood!
Okay, asshole. I get it. The cabin has a hood on. I'm so confused my head is throbbing.
Chavez floats off the ground and screams in his possessed voice.
There's not even a jacket or a coat to go with it. Just a hood!
Owie! My poor confused head is killing me.
The demon leaves Chavez's body, and he drops to the ground on his back. He sits up and says, Oh, my head. It hurts so bad. Too much confusion. That's what BJ was feeling last week. Bodong helps him up and hugs him.
Oh, Chavez, are you okay?
Yeah, I think so. Just a bad headache.
Me too. I think it's a confusion headache. I've never been so confused. Could you feel any of the demon's feelings or thoughts?
Yeah, it was honestly just as confused as us. It was confused why it was assigned to do such a confusing job.
Let's go back inside and lay down for a bit. Maybe the headaches will go away.
Sounds good. Me nap boy. They go lay in the bed and fall asleep. Interior, the mom's kitchen. She's lying flat on her back on the onions. They're piled so high that she's now using the ceiling as a cutting board. She just keeps cutting onions. She's soaked in blood and it's still cackling.
They'll be dead any moment. They'll be dead any fucking moment.
The doorbell rings and she freezes and goes silent. She hears a voice on the outside of the door. It says, "Man, this is Sheriff Grease Snout. We got a call from someone screaming. We got a call about someone screaming in the house."
One moment, please.
Yes, ma'am. She goes in the onion pile, or she goes in the onion pile like she's underwater and swims out of the kitchen, swimming through onions. She goes to the front door and opens it. She says,
Hello, Sheriff Greasenout. How can I help you today?
ma'am, we had a call saying there was screaming and someone yelling about death. Are you okay? You're covered in blood.
Don't be silly, Sheriff Greasenout. Of course I'm okay. I was just cutting onions and nicked a finger. See?
She holds up her wounded hand, and it's no longer a hand at all. It's just a stub, shooting out blood and spraying all over the sheriff's face. As his hat, face, and shirt get soaked in blood, he says, of course, you're right. That is just a nick.
Sure is, Sheriff Greasenout.
I take it you had your eyes full of crybaby sauce because of those dang onions, huh?
Yes, lots of crybaby sauce.
Crybaby sauce. And when you were experiencing the crybaby sauce, did it make your vision get dang bad?
Yes, Sheriff. Real dang bad.
And it was then when you sliced your fucking ass finger. This caused a teeny tiny itsy bitsy cut. She holds her nub in front of his face, and it pours into his eyes.
That's completely correct, Sheriff Greasenout.
He starts drinking her blood as it sprays into his mouth. Well, okay, ma'am. We'll get out of your hair then. He turns around completely covered in blood. He says, all right, boys. Nothing to see here. Let's move on. They walk off as she waves with her nub, spraying blood.
Goodbye, officers. Thanks for checking on me.
She shuts the door and the police leave. Interior, the cabin bedroom. Nighttime. Hours pass while they slept. They both wake up at the same time. Bodong groggily says,
Swanky boing doing. It's dark outside.
How long were we asleep?
I don't know, Chavez. We don't have a fucking clock, you sack of dog. Suck a dog shit. Just suck a dog shit.
Jesus, Bodong, what did I ever do to you?
Sorry, my brother named Chavez. That was uncalled for.
it's okay, my sister named Bodong.
How are you feeling after your demon possession?
I still have a really bad headache.
Me too. I've never witnessed something so confusing.
A loud, deep voice roars through the cabin.
Get out!
Ah!
I think we better listen, Bodong.
No, this is our goddamn home.
Get out now!
The voice thunders through the house, shattering the windows. The kids scream.
Ah! I think you're right, Chavez. Let's get out of here.
They run out the door and into the yard. The full moon is illuminating the area. They stop and turn around to look at the cabin. It's shaking and splits in half horizontally. It uses the split as a mouth and belts out an evil laugh.
Ha 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 ha! You shouldn't have come here. We're sorry. We'll leave.
Hold on, Chavez. I think I have an idea of how this is going to play out.
Don't you fools see that I'm a cabin with a hood on?
You have to be shitting me.
Yep, just what I thought.
A cabin such as myself should never be wearing a hood.
My head. It's hurting so bad.
Mine too. What's happening? If someone to work.
Hold on, okay. Just edit that part out.
Yeah.
If someone were to walk by a cabin in a hood, they'd say something like, "What the heck? Cabins don't wear clothes." Ha 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 ha! I'm the cabin in the hood. Titular line, baby. Ha 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 ha!
Hurry, Chavez. We have to go back down the road. It's trying to confuse us to death.
My head hurts so bad. It feels like it's going to explode.
We have to scram. Ugh, it hurts so bad.
They both fall to their knees. The cabin roars.
The last fucking thing a cabin needs is a fucking hood. Yet, here I am, a fucking cabin in a fucking hood.
I wonder if my neighbors hear me.
Oh God.
Hurry, Chavez. We have to crawl out of here.
I'm trying, Bodong. Lord knows I'm trying. What's the fucking story with the hood?
You mean this hood? Cabin in the hood.
Yeah, dude. We fucking gotcha. Ugh, my head. I can't go on. Too much confusion. Ugh.
Bodong goes unconscious and hits the ground face first. Chavez says, "Oh, Bodong, wake up. We have to go." He falls on his face, but is still barely awake. He looks up and sees the shadow entity again. It says,
"Hickory dickory dock. On that cabin lies a hood on top."
"Rhyming is a neat thing for you." So cold. So confused. Chavez goes unconscious. The cabin says,
Yeah, we did it!
Ah, yes, cabin old sport. Another glorious night of confusing people to death.
And now for the fun part. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off!
both of the kids' heads explode like a shotgun blast to a watermelon. Cabin and dark, creepy dude cheer.
Yeah! Zoinkies to the boinkies, doinkies.
Cabin, old chap. Let's say you sing at the song with your best friend, whatever the fuck my name is.
Forgot about that.
Shitting yes! You started out. And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3.
Tea and crumpets are a neat thing for a creepy thing like me. Tea and crumpets are yummy, yep, yep. I'll probably have to poop soon.
I'm more into Coke Zero. It's the taste the cabin craves. I love Coke Zero. I haven't been fishing in a while. Sing, sing, ding dong, ding dong,
ping pong. My cousin said he changed my oil for free.
I'm looking forward to eating out. All right, time to take this fucking hood off.
My cousin will change my oil for free. The road grows back over with weeds and trees. The cabin and the entity dude swirl into a dark purple energy and fly into the sky, turning into the necklace with a black crystal. It shoots through the sky and smashes into the roof of the mom's house. The necklace lands around her neck. The camera pans out to her covered in blood. Her whole left arm is missing, and she's wearing the creepiest smile ever. The crystal lights up and shoots purple lasers to start repairing the arm. She cackles as this happens.
They're dead. They're fucking dead. Thank you, Lord Satan.
Her arm is completely restored. She holds her hand in front of her face and smiles at it. A fly lands in her palm. She quickly closes her hand, killing the fly. The screen goes black. Words appear on the screen that says, "This movie is dedicated to Lawrence Fishburne and his family." The end. I don't know why it's dedicated to. I forgot about that part.
Lawrence.
The
Fishburne,
end. Yeah,
oh my
okay. So
God.
that was fun. I had fun doing that one.
That one is awesome.
So some of my favorite things to do in these scripts, like, is make a song come out of nowhere, and like while you're writing it, make sure it doesn't look like there's any sort of rhythm to it. So, because I like it, like what I've like had BJ do it a bunch, and like you now, like just like make up like how you sing it on the spot. I think
Yeah.
it works out so funny like that, because it kind of comes out of nowhere. Like, tea and crumpets are a neat thing for a creepy guy like me. Dude, I about lost my shit though. When you're like, my cousin said he'd change my oil for free.
Oh man,
What a good song.
dude! That was definitely that was a lot of fun. I liked the singing in it. I wasn't expecting it at all. When it came up, I was like, oh shit! Now I'm gonna have to do this voice while singing in that voice, and I was like, I don't know if I can do it. It's pretty easy.
Yeah. Well, that was fun, and yeah, that was a fun episode all around. And yeah, you guys should follow us on all that social media bullshit I was talking about earlier. That sounds convincing, doesn't it?
All
But,
that
give
social
us a,
media
like-
bullshit.
Yeah. And rate us and review us, like on Apple Podcasts or iTunes or wherever you listen to this. Give us a share on your social media. Like, we have a lot of fun doing this, and we're always wanting to get more people on board to join our little trash blood universe. So that being said, I'm about to get off here. It is like just now getting like almost completely dark, and I'm going to try to film that found footage movie I was talking about.
All right.
Here's don't hold your breath, but I will cross my fingers.
I'll cross them with you.
I'm really wanting to get this done. I really hope this works. Like, I think it can. Like, it might be a late night, and it really sucks because I have to get up really early in the morning to head back to my house. But there we fucking go.
Well, we'll look forward to finding out either on the next episode or before the next episode if you finish it up, how it turns out.
Yeah, you'll probably see, oh, guys, I decided not to do it again for this reason. No, I got some ideas on how this is going to work. I just want to, I just hope it works out well. We'll see what happens. So, yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I guess we will see you next time. And Maddie will have the script for Jaws 4, The Revenge, Part 2. Hungry for more revenge.
Oh, yeah. Really excited to write it.
All right, guys, Trashbloodians, take care. We'll see you later, motherfuckers. Stay spooky.
Stay spooky.
Hoods are for people, not cabins.
Don't know the power of the dark side. Don't know the power. Don't be too proud of this technological terror you've constructed. The ability to destroy a planet is insignificant.